Well, hi there, boys and girls. What I have for you today is a coaching session that I did with my man Charlie Sears. Now, if you don't know Charlie, you definitely should. He's a pretty cool YouTuber that posts mainly iRacing videos on his channel. Link is now on your screen. You can watch his races there. I've been racing mainly GT3 with some ovals here and there, but he has posted a lot of IndyCar in the past and GT1 and other things. If you check his channel, you see both some very nice racing going on, as well as learn a lot about beer, a little bit about golf, and learn how to get stranded with a motorcycle on a highway, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, he wanted some help with his driving, and we had been trying to set this up for a while, but finally it is here. We are having a look at Watkins Glen, which is where GT3 is this week. He had sent me over already a replay and a telemetry file for me to have a look. And then I've divided this video in a few parts. We'll go around the track. This first part will be mainly the chicane and how to take the chicane at Watkins Glen. If you like what you see and you find it interesting and you wouldn't like to have some help with your driving as well, would you like to have your driving analyzed and see if I can help you out with anything? Just get in touch. You can find me on clickety.
Yes. Okay. You there?
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I had the wrong output device in Skype.
Great. It's happening, GIF and all that.
Yes.
Finally. Let me share my screen.
No kidding, finally, right? There we go.
It's working fine there. Can you see my screen there, the audio and all that?
Yes, I can. I see it.
Beautiful. Brilliant. So, there are a few things for us to work on here. There are four main things that I will try to point out to you, the things I think could be improved a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll just go around the track, your lap, and I'm going to point them one by one, but quite quickly you see the themes start to repeat themselves. There's only one that happened more at Brent's than here. Of course, if you have any question at any point, just shout it.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm sure I'll have questions. I want to improve, right? So
I thought we could go over this lap and these four things that I think are the most important now. At least what the first things I could notice quite quickly. I think they will make a big difference, and then towards the end we can discuss a bit how to practice and how to improve them, how to work on them. See if we can get there a bit quicker. Also, so this is the telemetry comparing both of our laps. I don't know exactly how familiar you are with these squiggly lines, or
I haven't used Motec, but I've used Atlas before, so I'm reasonably familiar.
Okay. I have here in the first graph is the variance, so there's the delta. And the second one, speed and pedals.
Okay.
This one is the steering wheel, and this is what we'll be using. We don't need more than this for this time.
Okay. Are you the blue or black?
Yeah, I'm the blue. So I'm the colored one, and you are the black one.
Okay.
So my lap was this one 48.2, and yours is 49.8.
Yeah, quite the difference.
Yeah, but it would be easy enough for us to spot where.
Okay.
It's not a particularly clean lap of mine, but yeah, I suppose
neither was mine. I was really struggling, and I eventually just closed it. I'm like, I'm gonna start a new session. I'm gonna put up a clean lap, and I did. And I was like, I just gotta send it to him right away. I'm not gonna work.
Right. So by looking at the delta, we can notice a few things straight away. One of them is the huge difference here, the jump that the time does. So this is, if you see there, the bottom right, the track map. This is the chicane. So you have.
Oh wow! Yeah, you just fly through there.
Yeah. So we start with 3.5 tenths there, 3.5 tenths difference, and we exit the chicane with almost 8. So that's it's barely half a second there going through the chicane.
Yeah, that's huge.
We'll go through why, because that theme is going to repeat itself. Like if you see here, there is a lump as well under braking. which is the very next corner to the left, that downhill, which is a bit tricky. But again, roughly 0.8 to 1 second, so 2/10 there. Under braking here a little bit, and then under braking there, exiting the boot again, a big lump.
Okay.
And these are all brakings, and I think it has to do a bit with why you're losing time here at the.
All right. I definitely always struggle on the corner entering the boot and the corner exiting the boot. I have a hard time not spinning the car and trying to get on the throttle early, but I'll let you tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong versus me just trying to think of it, because obviously that's not working out for me so far.
Yeah, let's see a few things that, like I said, these 4 things that will probably help you out. You'll probably have some lag there. Skype's a bit slow to pass, and I'm also recording, so there's all that jazz.
All right, but I'm recording as well, so I'm sure. Well, I mean, my end it won't be as bad, but.
Yeah, thing number 1, you missed the apex there by
quite a
large margin. Yeah, so that's at least half a car, probably a car width. Because at some point here in this curb you get the car destabilized, so you don't want to do that, but you definitely want to go over the curb.
Okay.
And that makes a big difference. So yeah, if you look at the corner like this, of course the straightest way is to clip the apex and do it as straight as possible. Once you don't do that, you're just making your corner tighter. So
right, that would explain why you gained time on me along this straight.
Quite a bit, yeah. This makes a difference on the exit as well, because of course the tighter you do the corner, the less speed you can carry. So I carry a bit more speed, get on the throttle a little bit early, and then we're talking about 2 or 3 tenths here because of the long straight afterwards.
Alright.
Yeah, big difference. So this is one of the things that's going to repeat itself. This one you missed by almost a car width, but you're mostly missing them by half a car.
Okay.
Over and over. So
that's something I'm consistently doing across the track, is missing the apex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so one thing to work on. If you look from inside the car here, I don't know if you probably have more or less the same field of view that I do, I suppose. I've seen your videos. It seems like you're pretty close. And it seems like you're there. Of course, you can gauge by the sound. If you hear the rumble, then you're on the curb. But it's good practice to, after you do a lap you're happy with, just go on a chase cam like this, and then go around the track at least once to spot if you're missing it, or if you're using all the track, and then of course here I had a look. Yeah, you're using all the track on entry, and then do same thing in every exit. Yeah, you're using all the track all you can before you need to come back there. So it's fine, but always do this. Is a good thing for practice. You're gonna spot, I could have used more track over there, and so on. So you start spotting places to gain time. And that one is, basically it. Here, the tricky bit with the setup, I don't think on the left hand, this is just a quick remark, I don't think you need to lift here.
I was struggling whether I needed to lift or not. I was able to keep it flat most of the time, but sometimes I would push out a little too far, staying on the throttle. The rear would just be a little loose. I know you modified the set I sent you a little bit, but
I tried a few things, but then the laps I did with the same set.
Okay.
And here actually you do rather well. If you see here in the Motec, so this is the first to the right, this one we're at, and I actually lift quite a bit more than you. You do a really good job at lifting the very minimum there to keep the car stable. But the second bit I'm doing flat every time, never had a problem there.
Okay, I'll work on that then, keeping it more flat.
Yeah, and the second one actually makes more of a difference in terms of time than the first.
Okay, yeah, you can see how the delta goes up after I lift.
Yeah, it's almost a
through the braking. Yeah.
Yeah. I would particularly try to work something out on the setup, not to have to lift here at all. But considering if you're happy with the setup on the rest, and considering how little you lift here, it's really not that much of a problem. I would mostly go ahead.
Yeah, I can keep working on it. Like, I've got plenty of time before I need to get a race down, and I'll do some practice races and see if I can find something I'm more comfortable with.
Yeah, it's something I would do, and mainly, even if you don't lose time, which I think you may be losing, I don't know, half a tenth, even if you don't, it's just one less thing to pay attention to in a race, or to get distracted or to make a mistake. So
yeah, I don't have to worry about lifting just the right amount or forgetting to lift and then spinning and losing it.
Yeah, or you know, at some point in the race, some retard makes it too wide there, and then you are paying attention to him and you forget to lift or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can ruin the race into something silly. So okay, we get here to the chicane. We made an interesting entry there with a counter steer. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I braked a little bit too late, and then I just realized I had to turn in a little bit earlier, and I thought I was going to get a 1X through there, but it worked out fine. Normally I'm a little bit more to the outside. Like I said, this wasn't one of my, it wasn't like every sector was an optimal sector. It was just, I finally put a good lap together without crashing. I can send this. It's pretty close to what I do most of the time when I'm on track. I struggled a lot at Watkins. I thought this would be an easy track. It usually is. I don't know why I'm struggling right now, but I'll leave it to you.
This one I think is that so this is the second theme that's going to repeat itself a few times, and it's just trying to make the track. How can I put it? No, let's put it another way. So when you have a corner that leads to a straight, you maximize exit speed, right? So that's pretty basic. You want to get out of there as fast as possible. With the mode speed, you can because you carry that speed throughout the straight. But here, you have the opposite. So you have a straight that leads into a corner, and then that corner doesn't lead to anything. So exit speed doesn't matter.
Okay.
What you need to pay attention to is the exit out of this last one here. So this is your exit of the whole complex. The exit from the right hand doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So what we want to do here is to think about this whole first part to the right as the braking zone.
Okay.
So, because it is what it is. You start slowing down here, and you keep slowing down, and here you're gonna get back on the throttle, but you're still in the braking zone. And you should still be slowing down to make the left-handed.
Okay.
So if you think of it like that, it will allow you to carry a whole lot more speed through this first bit.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm braking to make this corner rather than treating this turn as a place to brake. Because like you said, I'm getting back on the throttle, trying to make up a little bit of speed here before I go into the next corner, but if I'm not thinking about them all together.
Yeah, exactly. You're thinking each corner separately instead of thinking the whole complex. And your way to think about this corner is right. You slow down, you apex, and then here you get back on the throttle. But you're getting back on the throttle in a time where you should be cornering because you need to do the left. So you don't have as much grip on the front here as you needed to switch back to the left. And surprise, surprise, you missed the apex by quite a bit. But you see, you need to lift again. And this loses you a lot of speed. So here you are 80% throttle or thereabouts. But then to get around there, you need to lift again. So you slow down again, etc. And here you should be flat, or not flat because of the bump. When you hit this curb, you need to lift a little bit, but you shouldn't have a lot more throttle.
Okay.
Let's zoom in here, see here bit by bit what's going on. So we're braking, roughly at the same point.
Yeah, you're a little later than me, but yeah.
I'm actually earlier. I'm the
I
colored one.
All right, cool.
So I brake a little bit earlier, just not as hard, but again, doesn't matter much. But I let the brakes go earlier, and then go through the first bit, and then once you start touching the throttle there, I'm still braking. A touch on the brakes there, you're back on the throttle, and I'm not. I let the car first settle on the left, and then get back on the throttle.
Okay, where I'm on the throttle and I have to cut it because I know I'm going to miss the next corner. So there I have to chop it since I'm pushing out too far. Interesting. Yeah. I always love looking at this kind of stuff. And you're steady through the exit, whereas I have another big drop there.
Yeah, you have to drop it again because, you went wide there. And then if you're not doing, how can I say it? You're turning in a bit too late for this corner, you miss the apex, and then you're still turning left too much here, and then you get in all sorts of problems because there's a bump there. and then you need to counter steer and lift and get the car back together.
Yeah, so I hit that apex early because I was pushing too far out on this corner beforehand, which is the result of me not braking and driving properly through the previous 2 corners.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I've been thinking about them all individually and not enough about what's leading up to that, what's causing my car to be in the position it is to get out of there. I'm like, oh, well, if I just lift through here and come through, I'll be fine as long as I hit that apex. This is really helpful, that, like, seeing if I slow down earlier and brake all the way through and then get on the throttle out of that whole complex. Like, I mean, you could see on Motec, you just gained so much time.
Yeah, we're talking half a second-ish.
Yeah, that's huge over a 40-minute race.
And yeah, of course. And as I say, I mean, we do the same speed until we get more or less at that curve a bit afterwards. But you keep braking just a little bit more, and then this is one chunk of the time up until the middle of the chicane, and then again when we exit, I don't put the throttle so early, but when I do, it stays there.
Yeah, your throttle just. Yeah, you're consistently pushing out. And you can see just the speed difference there, how you're just constantly gaining, and then I have to have that lift to try and get back.
And this is another chunk, because as said, this is the bit that is your exit. So all of this doesn't... What it matters is the speed you carry, but not your exit speed. Your exit is only here. So this is where it matters to be on the throttle early. So yeah, try to treat... One thing, think of the whole complex instead of each corner.
Okay.
And then the other thing, try to make it as straight as possible. So the way I think about this chicane that helps me is to think, well, it's a left-hand corner with a curvy braking zone.
All right.
You know, this first here doesn't matter. Of course, you need to hit the apex.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because you're not going to accelerate after it. It's just a curved braking zone. What you want to avoid is braking over the curb, because that will destabilize your car.
Okay.
So you need to brake, let go of the brakes a bit early, straighten out the steering wheel, and take this straight, but still slowing down.
Okay, so that's where you had like the little bump in your braking to continue braking through and after the apex here, so that you're in a position carrying enough speed to exit.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
Right.
I take this first one, lift the brakes, just coast like you're doing here, but then afterwards I need to brake a little bit more, because I'm carrying still too much speed to make the left hand. So I need to scrub a little bit more speed here, miss the apex by a little bit, not that much of a problem. But this one here, then you're accelerating too early because you're too slow.
Right.
Here's the entrance to the corner, sorry. So here is when you stop slowing down and you need to make into the apex, but you need all the grip you can on the front there to make the left-hand corner, which is the tightest bit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then hit the apex, and then use the track to the left here. But ideally, if you hit the apex, then you don't need to be turning to the left so hard, so you can keep it full throttle despite using that curb over there. You got a bit sideways on the bump there. Cool. Any questions for this?
No, that all makes a ton of sense. And that's shocking. Like, it's half a second. I felt really good about my lap. I'm like, I don't think there's a lot of room I can improve on. So this is really like eye-opening, like to see these differences in these areas I can improve. Because like I've talked to you before, like I think I know what I'm doing wrong, and I can correct that, but I don't know the things that I don't know I'm doing wrong. So this is super helpful, like to have this outside eye saying like, look how much you're fucking up, and here's how to fix it. So this is insanely helpful. So thank you.
No